Hey Wyatt, my name's Carson. I'm the social worker that's going to be working with you today, and I'm really glad you're here. I just want to start off by explaining that this is a safe, comfortable space, and everything that you say in here is confidential. But there are three limits of confidentiality, and I'm going to go over those with you, okay? The first is if a subpoena is ordered by the judge. The second is if you disclose abuse to another individual or if you're being abused. And the third is if you disclose that you're going to be an immediate harm to yourself or others. Are those clear?
Yes.
Okay. Um, so can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, I'm 24 years old. I recently just started a new job as an accountant for the state, and I recently just moved into a new apartment by myself. And sometimes, like in my free time when I'm not at work, I like to read and hang out with my friends and go walking.
Okay, that's awesome. And I want to remind you too, I don't know if I said it before, I'm going to be taking some notes throughout just so I can get your key points. So if you see me writing or it distracts you, I just want to let you know that that's going on.
No problem.
So you just started a new job as an accountant?
Yes.
Okay, well, that's awesome. How are you liking that?
Um, I'm like I'm liking it okay, but I feel like it started to cause me like a lot of anxiety and just a lot of nervousness and just I haven't really been feeling like myself lately since I've started the job.
Okay. And did you say that I appreciate you sharing with me that with me first off, but did you say that you just moved into an apartment recently too?
Yes, I
Okay.
did that too.
So how's that moving process been?
Um, it's been good. It's been a little stressful too to add on top of it.
I can see how kind of starting a new job and moving in on your own can be pretty
Right.
stressful.
Mhm.
Okay, so you said earlier that you haven't really felt like yourself. Can you kind of tell me like what you mean by that or what's been going on?
Yeah, so since I started the job, I started about a month ago, so I'm still kind of in the training process. But it's just the the whole new job and the whole training and scared that I'm gonna mess something up or not that I'm picking up on stuff fast enough or it's just kind of making me a little bit nervous and it's making me question kind of if this was the right job and the right decision,
Mhm.
what if I should have done it or not.
Yeah, I can see how that could all be really confusing. I appreciate you sharing that with me. Um, so is there a certain time that you're having these thoughts? Like, is it throughout the day or is there a certain time of day that it's affecting you?
Most lately it's been happening most of the time. I've been having trouble sleeping too, and I feel like that kind of has something to do with it because it's just kind of like all of these thoughts and all of this anxious feelings and stuff
Mhm.
happens, and I just end up tossing and turning at night, and it just kind of makes me not as well rested the next day, and it still kind of just has that just nervous feeling throughout the day too.
Okay, so it sounds like you're really stressed over your job and you're kind of doubting yourself a little bit, and that's causing you some anxiety and not
Right.
really sleep. So is that affecting how you said like the next day you're feeling tired and stuff too?
Hmm.
So I'm sure that makes work even harder when
Right.
you're
Exactly.
not rested
Exactly.
and stuff from
Mhm.
work. Okay, so how do you like feel at night, like physically when this is going on? When you're thinking these thoughts.
Um, Really, it's just like a flutter in my chest, and it's just kind of like my breathing gets kind of like rapid, fast, sometimes real quick, and I can get to where I get like sweaty, like break out in a sweat, like a nervous sweat, or my hands get real clammy, and it's just yeah.
Okay, I'm sure that's pretty distracting and makes
Yeah.
it pretty hard. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so I know you said that you feel like you might not know what you're doing in your job. So when exactly did you start this job?
I started about 2 months ago.
Okay, so that's not long at all. You're still fairly new.
Right.
How long is the training period in this job?
A 2 year training.
Okay, so you really are really new. And you also said that you feel like you might mess something up or you don't know what
Mhm.
you're gonna do.
Right.
Okay, so sounds to me like you're still in training. So are they expecting you to know everything right now?
No, and I think it's just kind of more of like a personal thing, just sort of just how I deal with stuff,
Mhm.
wanting to catch on to stuff quick and wanting to be able to know how to do stuff right away. And that this is just one of those jobs where it's not going to be like that, but I'm just having a really hard time kind of coming to terms and understanding that and figuring out how to like make my
Work
body
through
and my
that.
mind feel that
I
too.
understand that. And starting a new job and stuff is always a difficult transition, but especially when it's something. Have you worked in this field before?
I have not.
Okay, so it's all pretty new to you. Um, So can I ask, did you get a degree in this? Or
Yeah, I have my bachelor's in accounting and finance.
okay, so you do have some like a general idea and you know what's
Right.
going on. So it sounds like you just kind of have high expectations for yourself.
Right.
Is this true? Like, are there other areas in your life that you expect yourself to catch on pretty quick?
Right. Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to tell you about a technique. It's kind of about like challenging your negative thoughts. Because to me, it sounds like you're having some irrational thoughts, like
Mhm.
you're not good enough, you don't know what you're doing in your job, you're expected to know everything. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. And it sounds to me like you said, if someone's still actively like training you and working with you,
Yes.
and there's somebody at your job that you can ask questions and if you
Right.
mess up. Okay. So you just pretty much said right there that the people in your job don't necessarily expect you to know everything. That's just kind of something that you hold yourself to. Is that right?
I think it's because I've been able to catch on to stuff in previous jobs or other stuff before, and now this one, since it's something so out of my comfort zone, it's given me a harder time to come to terms with, like, it's not going to be perfect, or you're not going to catch on just right away like you maybe have in the past.
Mhm.
And that's kind of what's making me have some of these feelings
Yeah,
sometimes.
that can be really difficult. But whenever you start to think these things, like you said earlier, you went to school for this. That's correct.
Right.
And are you doing good so far? Like you're picking up on the stuff that you have learned?
Mhm.
Okay. And you're also managing, like moving in, living independently,
Right.
plus starting a new job. So you're capable of multitasking and managing things. So whenever you start having these feelings at night and feeling like you're kind of restless or can't breathe, or you start thinking irrationally, what I want you to try doing is challenging those negative thoughts and replacing their rational thoughts with rational ones. So you just told me three right there, that you went to school for this. Tell yourself that.
Right.
And that you're new. You just started the training period is 2 years long.
Right.
And that you're completely capable. You've worked in the past and nobody expects you to know everything.
Mhm.
So I want you to replace those irrational thoughts whenever you start thinking that at night with these rational thoughts, and that can probably help you calm down.
Right.
Do you feel like that's something you could do?
Yeah, I can give that a shot.
Okay. Because it can be easiest for anyone to get worked up when we start thinking irrationally.
Mhm.
Would you be interested in maybe learning some relaxation techniques too, in case the rational thoughts stuff
Yeah,
wasn't
for
working?
sure.
Okay. I have one. It's called guided imagery. It's kind of a relaxation breathing technique, but I can walk you through that right now if you want to try.
Yeah, for
Okay.
sure.
Because guided imagery, this is something that you could do any time of the day if you're ever feeling overwhelmed at work, in your car, but especially in bed when you're by yourself. You could try this at home. Okay, so first thing I'm going to ask you to close your eyes. And I want you to think, this is what you're going to do when you're in a very stressful situation, like in bed at night. Think of somewhere that just you feel calm and at peace and you're relaxed. Do you have somewhere in your mind? Okay, where are you at?
The beach.
The beach is very relaxing. Okay, so are you like laying out or what are you doing?
Laying out.
Okay, so I want you to hear the waves and just feel the sun. Maybe even you're smelling the ocean, just feeling that warm beach air. Okay. So do you feel like you're pretty relaxed and you have these stressful thoughts then? Okay. So now I want you to take a deep breath in and just slowly let that out. Okay. Now I want you to take another deep breath in and just slowly let that out and just feel the stress and those thoughts and everything you're anxious about. I want you to let that all go. Okay. Okay. All right. Now you can open your eyes. So how do you feel after that?
I do feel better.
Do you feel a little bit less tense and
Mhm.
kind of like you kind of got some of those thoughts out of your mind?
Mhm.
Okay, good. So do you feel like that's something you could do on your own and kind of utilize on your own?
Yes.
Well, I appreciate everything that you shared with me today. I know I want to commend you for coming in because it takes a lot to come in and be vulnerable, especially with the person that you just met.
Right.
So I just want to do a little summary of what we went over today, if that's okay with you.
Yeah.
So you explained to me that you're feeling really anxious over this job that you started. You feel like you might not be good enough. It's keeping you up at night. You're really anxious. Okay. And you also just moved into your new place. And you're just kind of wanting some strategies to deal with your anxiety.
Right.
So what we went over today is, excuse me, that you're going to start challenging these irrational thoughts that you're having with three rational thoughts, which is you're fully capable. You went to school for this. You're in the training stage. Nobody expects you to know everything. And you are able to multitask and do some things because you've done this before. So in upcoming sessions, we're just going to continue to confront the things that bring you anxiety, if that's okay. So
Mhm.
your work and just feeling a little overwhelmed, we'll continue to work on that. But what I want you to do, are you okay with working on some of this stuff on your own if I give you
Yeah,
a call?
definitely.
Okay. I want you to try this guided imagery, maybe just 4 times over the next week. And then whenever you come in again next week, we'll kind of go over how that is and see if some of your anxiety symptoms have decreased.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate you coming in and I look forward to seeing you next week.
Thank you.
Mhm.